Okay, everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of Tacos en Europa. I am Jorge,
My name is Edgar.
and we're back on track now. There's a real episode. This is an actual, update on how the Mexicans are doing in Europe now that we started back up with the regular season. First, I want to let you guys know that you guys can listen to us on YouTube and on all the platforms for podcasts, whichever one you prefer. You can give us
Wherever you listen to your podcast.
wherever you listen. Yeah, that's the official line that everybody uses. Wherever you listen to your podcast. And yeah, you can just give us a subscription on YouTube to know when we are uploading videos, and obviously, give us a little review on your favorite platform for podcast so we can know if you like the video or not. Also, you guys can follow us on social media. We have TikTok, we have Twitter, Instagram, Reddit. We talked to a lot of people over on Reddit if you want to ever talk to us. And yeah, just Tacos en Europa everywhere, same name. Just follow us and then let us know what you think about the podcast.
That's right.
Yes, sir. So let's start. Let's get things moving. So let's start with the Wolves in the Premier League, which we're going to be here very fast because Giménez doesn't play, and Wolves ties against Nottingham Forest 1-1.
Yeah, it's a sad affair for Wolves because Nottingham Forest is as well on that 8-team pack at the bottom.
Yeah.
So they're like 4 points above relegation. And they're really bad right now on the goal difference. And that can make a difference between the 80th and the 70th if they don't clear.
And it was a bit of a bloodbath too, to not spend too much time here, but it was a bloodbath because I think they're rivals, and also one of their players went over to Nottingham Forest. So there was everything that happened in this match. Not as much as this Liga MX this weekend.
Oh, no. Their nuts were flying.
It was definitely interesting, So no Giménez on this one. But if we go over to Spain, we have Betis against Atletico Madrid. Guardado stays home for this one. Too many yellows so far.
The fifth yellow on the last game, which they won, and this one they lost. You can draw your conclusions from that. Still, it was a really good game. Atletico Madrid is playing some really nice football, and Griezmann is probably one of the best players in the world in the form he is right now.
Yeah.
So it was good to watch, even if Betis lost.
And in Sevilla, we have some good news also where Tecatito is back on the bench. He still hasn't been out on the field yet. I know as soon as they need him, they'll be able to put him out there, but at least we know he's available and ready to play. So Sevilla wins 2-0, and they move a little farther up in the table where they're a little bit dangerously close to a relegation spot, but this helps them out a little bit.
Yeah, they're getting clear. Still good for them.
Yeah, but to contrast that, we have Espanyol, Cesar Montes, who lose their game to Girona, and now they're a little closer to they're 1 point away from being relegated now.
1 point away from relegation. And, it's really bad. Espanyol is not the greatest team on defense, even with Montes improving them.
Yeah.
But they had a tough game with their defense. The other central back left with a red card. And Montes was in one of the goals. He wasn't at fault, but he was there. And his numbers aren't great.
Yeah.
He had just 6 defensive action. He went 3 out of 7 in duels, 2 out of 5 on aerials,
which is crazy for him. Which is insane for him.
Yeah, he's 7 feet tall. He should be able to win most duels.
He always does. It's just it was one of those weird games right now. But this a little side note for everybody when we say he was in the picture. That's how we say here in this podcast. That means they were in the picture of the goal. So when you do the replay, he's right there next to the action. So
he standing, just looking guilty as fuck. And
not necessarily his fault, but he's in the picture, which you don't want to be in the picture,
Yeah, sometimes it is your fault, but it's tough.
So, but in the second division of Spain, we have a little bit of a treat. We have Sporting with Jordan Carrillo, who starts the game, which was a weird, but it was good news, but it was weird. I wasn't expecting it.
He not only did he start, but they won. It's not he scored or assisted, but they won.
Yeah, we're still seeing those good things from him, that ability with the ball, being able to see his teammates, being able to find them, things like that. So he's doing all the basics out there, and he's doing them well.
Yeah, and he had a different game this time because he didn't play on the wing, which is his usual place. They tried a different setup, and he was more on the midfield, like in the middle channel.
Yeah,
like behind the striker. It was different, but I think it fit. It like played to his strengths.
Yeah.
Still, like they look well. Hopefully, just enough to like stay clear from the relegation. They are like 4 or 5 points away.
Yeah.
But still, like they need to keep winning these 1-0s.
These are another team that are a little closer to relegation spots, so this helps them get out. Oviedo, on the other hand, Real Oviedo with Marcelo Flores, who again doesn't come into the game once again, they tie their game, so that means they're a little closer to that relegation spot if other teams win that game. So nothing much to talk about here.
It's a point.
It's a point. But to not spend too much time there, let's go over to Italy with Napoli, who just finished play right now when we're recording this. They played against Milan. So a bit of a preview of that Champions League semifinal that we keep hyping up, keep saying, oh, Napoli's going to like destroy them. Napoli's already beat them. Napoli this, Napoli that. 4-0 is the final score in Milan's favor.
In Milan's favor. And look, we can say the 4 goals like went inside while Lozano was on the bench.
Yeah, so it's not his fault.
It's not his fault. He's a winger. He's not never going to be.
Well, you can't say, oh, he didn't go track back on that one, or he didn't. No. He's sitting there.
Yeah, still, Napoli didn't look great. Their defense was lacking, especially Mario Rui,
which is rare for them.
Yeah, but the game was lost on the midfield.
Yeah,
like Lobotka and Zielinski didn't look sharp. Like they lost so much space. When Milan attacked, they had like 5 people on the box. And when they defended, they had like 6 people. And I'm doing math over there. I don't know how. I don't know how they always on like how the hell do they have always man superiority on the field?
Yeah.
Like they were really good at overwhelming Napoli, even in defense and on attack. It was really good setup for them.
So same thing, since we're going pretty fast with the other 2 leagues, I want to stand here just a little bit and just talk about like how weird is it that he started off with 2 bench players up top. You had Osimhen, who was injured, so obviously he wasn't gonna play. But Chucky was available. He just traveled and all that stuff. You could say that, but he was ready to go and started with Politano instead. He depended 100% on Kvaratskhelia, on giving him this win.
And 100% they did, because mostly in Napoli played to the left, and Politano didn't play a bad game, especially like I said, the midfield was worse, but he's slower than Lozano. And he's never gonna make out the field wide because he plays inverted. He's left-handed, footed. And it was a weird choice not to play Lozano.
Yeah, and for this game, it's you were saying that he didn't play too bad, which is good. But I think for this game, you didn't need someone that didn't play bad. You needed a number 2 guy.
Yeah. And still, Milan really took advantage of Napoli's their desire to get the ball to Kvaratskhelia. Because as soon as he got the ball, he had 3 people on him.
Yeah.
And that's where most plays from Napoli like got to die, right?
Yeah, because
they were waiting for the ball to reach the other wing, and it never did.
Yeah, if you think about it, it's cool and all when like you get the ball to him and you have Osimhen over there, you're not gonna leave him alone, or Lozano or somebody. But like now that he's by himself, you could comfortably put 3 center backs on him. You could put 3 defenders on him, and you're fine.
Yeah, and Gio Simone didn't like track back to help. He was pretty much a non-existence while he didn't have the ball. It was like kind of sad in that way.
Yeah, because he's been doing so good, but maybe it's that little lack of rhythm. So
he's not part of the system, even when he's a sub, right? Who knows?
Yeah, so going on to the next one, which is Cremonese with Johan Vázquez, who doesn't start. You can read inside what you will. It could just be, part of he was on a trip right now with the selección, or maybe, he's trying to switch selección, but whatever happened. But he was on the bench. He came out in the 67th because, the one that was instead of him was not having a very good game at all.
Yeah, Lobsky, something like that. He was really, really bad. Like he made the foul that was the penalty, and he lost so much space against Atalanta. You can give them space, and they're like lethal.
So he comes out, and then they put Vasquez in, who didn't have a particularly good game because it's Atalanta, first of all, and second of all, you know, they already scored, I think, 2 when he came in by the time. So
I think they were
just the one?
Just 1-1.
Yeah, 1-0, and then they scored 2 while he came in. But it was just, they were trying to play with 2 defensive line pretty much. Like, they were throwing everything at the back, not particularly parking the bus, but they were defending with like 2 lines of like 4.
Yeah, and by the time he came in, he was playing as a fullback and then center back. They were trying to mix in attack and on defense, and they were leaving space.
Yeah.
And again, you can leave space against Atalanta. But I think Cremonese realized that they can keep on getting draws.
Yeah.
It doesn't help them. They better risk a lose and play to win.
Yeah. Which is
that's
a good analysis of that. I didn't think about that. But yeah, it's looking like they're actually trying to risk a little bit more because they want to get out of the relegation spot, which is not going to happen. But you got to try, until the end.
You got to try.
Yeah. So Memo Ochoa ahí que Salernitana, once again, starter, 90 minutes, obviously as a goalkeeper. Against Spezia, they finished 1-1. Salernitana once again, they weren't playing particularly bad, but they did leave that man by himself to score that goal on them. And man, what a terrible exit by Ochoa.
Yeah, he doubted. Yeah, you can doubt when you leave your goal. It's like yesterday I was watching the America Leon, and Rogelio Cota had like 7, like I don't know how you call them, like when you leave your goal.
Yeah.
Like when you have to go and reach it, and Cota was great. He's probably the best in Liga MX in that particular aspect. And Ochoa is exactly the opposite.
No, you can just see it. If you guys ever watch that replay, you can see how he comes out and he thinks about it and he goes back for the ball, and it's like, man, like if you just, maybe he would have gone there, maybe not, who knows, because he is a little older, but it was just a weird goal to concede. But yeah, it's a 1-1, and once again, a lot of stuff going on inside of Salernitana. They need to win. They need to win to get out of the relegation spot. Yeah,
still this 1 point will be like good enough with other opponents, but Spezia is down there with them, so it doesn't help them really. Also, the goal is we can say like, Ochoa doubted, but the defense left him alone.
Yeah,
like constantly with them. Like he left them in such bad shape that he has to make a miracle, and he's running out of those.
He can still give you a miracle here and there, but like you say, he's running out, so you gotta help him out a little bit. But let's go. Let's take a trip to Netherlands and let's stay here for a little while we talk about the most stuff that happened this week, as per usual. So we have Feyenoord, Santiago Giménez, 90 minutes, officially the starter of this team, and then it's a little derby against Sparta Rotterdam, and they win 3-1.
3-1, and Santi gets a goal.
Yeah, he gets the second goal, which is a beautiful left foot into the left side of the net. Terrible angle, but it goes in. It goes in easy.
Yeah, he didn't have a lot in this game. He mostly played a bad game whenever he got the ball.
Yeah.
Like whatever he tried, he didn't make happen because he was 2 out of 12 on duels.
Yeah.
Of those, 1 out of 4 on aerials.
And actually also right before this goal, he missed a sitter. He misses, he got this low cross right in front of the goal, and he just sent it over to Mars somehow.
And somehow just scored the craziest, most difficult angle.
On the next play. It was great.
Which means he's becoming a great striker, because a great striker scores in a bad day.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the point you need to have.
Your job
Someone
is to
that
score
scores
goals.
no matter what.
Yeah, that's your job. Score goals. So like you can have a bad game where if you're finishing, that's all you need. But another thing that I'd like to talk about him is I like his little off-ball movements that he has. You know, when he doesn't have the ball. You know, I saw him a couple of times just hold down defenders, not particularly to receive the ball, but to make space for his teammates in the box. And they got a couple of crosses on, like into the box that way because he was just literally creating space by like overpowering defenders.
Yeah, it's those things that a great striker needs to do.
Yeah.
Like what Julio Furch does a little with Atlas, with his physicality creates space for the rest of the team. And if you're nicer and don't watch Liga MX, if like a little bit of what Benzema can do or Lewandowski, you know, you create.
We want to get
space.
bougie a little. We want to get bougie.
Yeah. You want to get your pinky, stick it up.
Pinkies up.
Yeah, so it's great to see him do that kind of stuff. We were talking about how much he has learned to create space from his
nothing.
Like how he attracts defenders and he helps the rest of his team like have chances to on goal.
Yeah.
Feyenoord gets a lot of goals from the wings. So that's because Santi is there drawing people.
Yeah, so that would be nice, you know, if we can start seeing a little more of that. Like, imagine Chucky with a lot of space. Like, that'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, that would be lethal.
So now we go over to Ajax Inke. So we talk about particularly not good games, but like not good stats, but with good performances. We have Edson Alvarez. We're talking about
with good stats and bad games. We can talk about. We can talk about Sanchez.
The exact opposite. So let's talk about Sanchez first, who. If you look at all the apps and you see all the numbers, you're like, oh, wow, he did this. But you look at him in the game, and it's the same thing as every other game. The same things we saw in this window with the national team, the same thing we knew we were going to see because we see it in the league before that window. So it was just a lot of losing the ball, a lot of, you know, terrible mistakes for a winger. I mean, for a
fullback. Yeah, he can make some good runs. He can have good 1v1s, but the thing is, he constantly makes you feel vulnerable. Vulnerable. when he's alone with the ball, like he lost a couple of balls that Edson and Timber had to save his ass because go ahead Eagles. Not even Feyenoord or PSV. Go ahead Eagles were creating dangerous chances because Sanchez was making mistakes.
Yeah, and you know, it's like he played relatively well on paper, and a lot of it's because it's against his team. Go Ahead Eagles was not particularly a good team, which, like, giving them the merit they deserve, they are in the middle of the table, but it's still Go Ahead Eagles, you know. And it's like it's been known, you know, we've seen it with him where it's like they play against like a lower table team, and he has good numbers, but then it's on the times that matter where he just doesn't show up. But I mean, at least he didn't have a particularly terrible game, which is a good thing. It's a step up.
Yeah. The thing is, he's a fullback that doesn't make you feel safe, neither with the ball nor defending. So I don't know what Ajax gonna do with him. But on the other hand, I do know what Ajax will do with Alvarez. That is sell him for a lot of money.
All the money. Just give him all the money because he deserves it, man. He was just being the whole, like, the metronome of the team, like the heart as a center back. As a center back, he was doing the job of the defender and of the midfielder.
Yeah, he's a full-on sweeper, either as a center back or as a midfielder. And I keep saying, when he's not on the midfield, Ajax midfield is just butter. Like, it cannot hold anything. They constantly are like just to walk past, because neither of Taylor, nor Klassen, nor Berwis, neither of them can defend.
Which, for this particular game, wasn't a problem because they were playing so high up.
Because Go Ahead Eagles.
Because it's Go Ahead Eagles. So they were playing so high up that literally Edson was moving the ball everywhere. Like, if you just go look at his heat map for this game, Go Ahead Eagles.
Yeah.
He was just doing everything on the defense and creating the attacks. So they were in a good position.
Over the midfield line.
Exactly. And they were in a good position to kind of like play as attacking midfielders because Edson was doing everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, Edson, still, he made some mistakes, mostly on their side of the field. So it didn't cost Ajax too much.
Yeah, that's why you'll see on the apps, you'll see like he wasn't necessarily having like a good score because he did have a couple of mistakes. But tell him about all the good things we saw.
Yeah, he stopped like 4 or 5 clear goal chances.
In the box.
A couple of them because of Sanchez.
By the way,
he made 2 tackles on the box, just like took the ball away from a player. Like he was everywhere. He was great.
Yeah, he was one of those amazing games that he has, not too rarely. And it's one of those things, where it's like, man, like it begs to that question, like, what does he need or what kind of tools are missing so that he can translate this to the national team, where he can be that heart of the team, where he can literally start those attacks, kickstart them, and then, get the ball over to the attackers.
Well, we need to get more Ajax players into the national team. Like, nationalize Berwin.
Oh, yeah, we'll try. What do you have Sanchez, though? So we have...
Don't go say that.
We also have PSV, Eddie Gutierrez, which another treat, just like Jordan Carrillo. Eddie Gutierrez starts. They rest Sangaré, and he comes out from the beginning. He plays 90 minutes. They win this game 4-2.
They rest a couple of players because they don't want to get shown up by Spack and Back on Tuesday.
And it worked out for them. Everybody showed up that day, and they got this win. They won when Ajax tied. So that means they're officially in goal differential, I believe, on top of them. Or are they below?
Below. But,
yeah, because Ajax has like 40-something and they have 30 years.
Yeah, what I saw, they were under. Still, it was a great game from Guti.
Yeah.
He played as a lone pivot, like the only defender.
Which usually he doesn't do well when he plays like that.
Yeah, we were saying with the national team he was awful, but here he was stopping anything that reached his way. He was very good. He was like a goon on hockey.
It must be something about those Suriname players then.
Yeah. He's playing probably against some Suriname players.
Yeah, actually, I think they have a lot of people.
Over their division. But he was, I keep saying, he's like a goon. Wherever a player of his team is to like push around, Guti goes over there and just like bodies them. And not making fouls, just like shoulder to shoulder and just keeps tackling and getting physical in ways that the rest of the PSV team want to.
Yeah, he's a classic bodyguard. The classic bodyguard, on the pitch.
See, some sort of like the Paul is with Messi's Argentina.
No, that's a different level, man.
No, it's the same feeling, I guess. Yeah. So it was a good game, even if it was way better on the first half because like they were like 3-0 by the mid, and then on the first 10 minutes they were 4-0. So PSV just relaxed. They changed up a lot of players. Yeah. And Nick Mejen got 2 goals on them. Still, it was a good game at the beginning. So that's good for.
We can say it was that classic, PSV of this season saying like, okay, yeah, you'll score 2 on me, but I'm gonna score 4 on you. So they're just doing that all-out attack. And if they wouldn't have Guti in there, they probably would have scored a couple more, and then they would have get scored on a couple more times. But speeding things up a little bit, we got Portugal in here. We have Pisuto, who still hasn't touched the field, and Alcántara, who's for some reason is coming off the bench in the Sporting.
He's getting minutes still.
Yeah, the youth team of the Sporting. He's still getting minutes. He hasn't played bad, so I'm not sure as to the reason for this yet. But yeah, just a little info on him. Belgium. Okay, we have the Pro League KRC Genk win their game against Oud Heverlee Leuven. I hope I said that right. 2-1.
Yeah, it's a bad game from all the defensive line from Genk. And Arteaga particularly, he made the same mistakes he made against Suriname.
Yeah.
Like, it was
a copy-paste game.
Yeah.
It was a copy-paste game.
But still, he had 7 defensive actions, and Genk winning, like, nevertheless, is great for them because they're on top of the table right now and getting, like, further away.
Yes, there are 3 match days left before they start the playoff system that they have. And by the way, just a little side note, we do have a special video on our YouTube talking about all the trophies that the players can get. And this is one of them. So if you want to learn more about the system that they have here, and in Greece, we have a playoff system, you can learn it there. We also talk about the relegation, the people that are in trouble being relegated, all that type of stuff. So it's a very interesting video just to see an update of how everybody's doing in their teams. But yeah, going back to Arteaga, it was a very interesting game, I guess, for lack of a better word. Also, the center back, who is North American, also he's a USMNT player, he concedes that penalty. Munoz also didn't look particularly well on the right side of the defense. So
almost got a red card.
Almost got a red card. He almost got a double yellow. So it was a terrible day for the whole back line. But they still managed to get the win, and they're comfortably a little bit more comfortable in that first place to start the playoff.
Yeah. So let's look to happier places like Poland. You can tell.
Poland.
I know. Greek. We're going to Greece.
Before we go to Greece, we have couple more players in Belgium. We have Wilke, who came back from his injury, playing with the young team of the Cercle Bruges, and then Dagoberto Espinosa, who was also playing with them together.
Yeah, that's right. They're on the young.
Yeah, the young Cercle. Now going on to Greece, since you have more access to these games, how did Orbelin do in these games? Their playoff already started, so this is a very, very important game. So how did this one turn out?
Yeah, well, they won. That's the important part. Yeah, against PLK, I think it's pronounced. So it's really good for Athens to win, even if they play bad, and they did play bad.
Yeah,
they playing a 4-4-2 with Araujo and Orbelin on top, and they're getting bodied by the defenders. Like, they're not getting the ball. Like, both of them aren't like really big nor physical, so they needed Levi Garcia to get back. And once he's back, it gets way better for them. And he did come back at the midpoint, right? So
yeah, and Orbelin didn't have a particularly great game here, but like you said, they won. Panathinaikos tied their game, so that means that they're tied in points now, and by goal differential, AK Athens is in the first place. So this is huge. This is a huge result, and they just need to keep going. They're gonna play Panathinaikos one more time in this playoff. So as long as they keep, getting good results and getting a big win on that last game, it's gonna be good.
Bad.
And Panathinaikos bad, so it's gonna be good. So now Poland, we have Miedz Legnica. They lose their game. Navidad does not win. They're getting relegated.
Yeah,
on to better things.
There's no stopping it.
Yeah. Well, what's going to stop is us talking about it. So now, the players of the game, the players of the week, who was your favorite player this week?
Oh, I got to say Santi. Like I said, he didn't play a great game, but the fact that he can score on bad games is just amazing.
That says a lot of things about him. Yeah, I think I'm going to go the same Santi, but I think it's good to mention that, like, Edson Alvarez had a monster game. I think he did amazing. If someone would tell me he was the best player of the week, I would not fight them about it. I think he did great. He was doing everything over there.
Yeah. Also, if for sure I had caught that ball that they scored on him, it would have been his week.
We've been missing some Ochoa player of the weeks, man. I think when he started, he got it a couple of times, and now has been a little low. What about your favorite game of this weekend? What did you like to see the best?
Oh, I gotta say, America León.
You're gonna go.
The managers were. Yeah, I know, of course. The managers were dropping fees. So someone was almost naked by the end of it. The football was great. Not even only the drama.
Are you gonna miss the good part?
Some player was just kneed on the nuts by a referee. It was Liga MX all over.
Yeah, it was one of those amazing things that we get from Liga MX. Those nuggets of just beautiful entertainment, just prime Mexican entertainment. It's not football, it's entertainment.
I thought you were going to say those nuggets all squished under the feet.
No, this was like prime. Like, I think I understand why people watch WWE. I get it, man. I get it. I like just to go, not to break the rules too much. I'll go with a European game. I like Napoli versus Milan. Overall, it was a terrible game for Napoli, but it was a great game for Milan, and it was a great game overall. So, man, that was just
actually Atletico Madrid, Betis was really good.
You like that one too?
Even if the Betis lost, Griezmann is great right now, so I like to watch them play.
It's those things, when we talk about these games of the week, it's not necessarily how Mexicans played, it's just what do we enjoy watching, and I think those are two of the ones. But also, ENG, let's talk about the extra stuff. What did you find this week for the people? What do you have to tell them?
Yeah, like going fast, Lozano is looking at all the places that might want him, like Sevilla, Villarreal.
You mean?
Well, still, he won't leave Napoli unless they paid him more. So that's the thing. And he's asking for like equal or more. And that, I think that's going to push him to the Premier, right? So that's going to be kind of tough because he's not going to play in the Champions League, a team on the Premier League. So I don't know. And then another Mexican that is wanted on the Premier League is Santi Giménez by Brighton, which it's a good team for developing players.
Yeah,
like the pressure is not as big as on other teams, and it's very well managed, so it could be good for Santi.
Yeah, I think I would rather him stay at Feyenoord at least one more season, but definitely like if he goes to a team where he can get developed, well, they'll have patience. Where most importantly, the fans will have patience, and they'll know like, hey, like it's not like uncommon to see Eredivisie players go to a bigger league and struggle for a season or two. Like it happens all the time,
especially attacking players,
especially attackers. So like wherever he goes, I hope it's somewhere where he will have time to get better, and not like a straight up contender that will need him as soon as he gets there. That's all we have for this week. So thank you guys for listening. My name is Jorge.
My name is Edgar.
Have a good week.